Okay, so everything looks to be set up. Now what we want to do is role play a little bit. So take a demo student and kind of see how things flow, how the information flows for him. So if, as an instructor, I go back to content, I've got all my modules, everything is in there, my conditions, everything looks great. So I'll just go to communications and class list, and I have a demo student here enrolled. So I'll impersonate this demo student. And as you can see, as a demo student, if I go to content, I only see my competence element 1 and 2, don't see the summative, don't see the congrats message. So I could access my formative assessment. I won't be doing this right now because there's no questions, but just to show you that the student has a limited view on the content. So as an instructor here, what I'll do is go to assessment and grades, and I'll put in some grades for the student for his quizzes. So let's put him a 60 here and a 80 here in his two formatives. So I'll just put hard grades in there. And as you can see, there's subtotals being calculated. My CE1 total gives me 30%, which is normal because that's 60% on formative. It accounts for 50% of the final grade. Everything looks fine. Now, from the student perspective, communication class list, and I go back as that student, and I go to content. This now gives me access to my summative assessment, which is great, which means that I have passed my two formatives, and now I can access my summative sections. So this is great. And what I'll do here is I'll go back as an instructor, and as an instructor, I'll go to grades once again, and let's enter some grades here. And let's say here he doesn't pass his CE1, so he has a 50, and here he has a 60, and I save this. What's interesting here is that competency element 2 is now covered. Competency element 1 is not covered. So let's go back to the student view. This may take a little bit of time, but we'll see if everything is fine already. Yeah, so we need to give it a little bit of time here. So I'll just log out here. Oh, sorry, no, it actually worked. So I'll go back as a student. Student test. As you can now see in content, if you look at summative assessment, he only sees his competency element 1 section because competency element 2 has that score that gives him permission to have that element completed. So if I go back as an instructor and modify once again the gradebook, let's give him a good score for his CE1 summative here. So let's give him a 60 also. So he'll be right on the limit. So 60 for his competency element 1, 70 for his competency element 2. Let's go back to the student view. This can take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's not automatic, but let's look. And if I go back to content, there you go. No more summative assessment sessions available to me because I've passed both elements. And I have my little message that appears to me that says I've reached a competency. So this is very basic, but this is kind of a description of the different elements together. And you can play with this. You can do a lot of pretty innovative stuff. So this is basically the role playing of how the student would see information flow depending on different results he's having on his formative and his summative assessments.